the celebrities that you are talking about. Let's agree on that.
Then why do you then consider it who come today to join and then you take them to parliament? Why can't wait,
that doesn't happen.
It's happening. Why are you defending it?
I'm saying you are using extreme examples because
it's not an extreme example. It's an example. It's an example of his behavior. Is that yes, he made a quick decision by going to join the MK. But I respect that particular decision, and I don't see that decision as a sellout decision. But for me, I would have liked him not to have joined any political organization, but to relax and then take what good comes of Julius Malema. I personally want to try and find something good that comes out of him. I failed to. I'm failing.
Let me bring this thing close.
No. I'm failing to put it on record.
Okay, let's put it here.
Yes.
Why do you hate Julius Malema so much?
I
think this one.
I dislike him. I don't hate him. Hate is a very strong word. No. Let me. I want to answer on it. I want to respond in it. Yeah. I don't hate him. I dislike him because my.
Ntsako.
Yes.
Nokuto urila man. Urila imaka ya Floyd Shivambu.
Yes.
Please tell our audience who are you and where you from and why do you think you need to comment on in this particular political moment?
Yeah, people must let's forget about the surname thing,
yes.
The Shivambu thing. I'm Ntsako Shivambu, but you see. I have to comment on this particular issue of Floyd leaving the EFF. But it's not necessarily about him leaving the EFF. It's the after effect in which the commentary that was given by Julius Malema after Floyd had left.
Okay, let me see if I can improve the mic from here.
Okay.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so the part that is important for me, it's not necessarily Floyd leaving the EFF. Yeah. It's how, because he had written a letter, and in his letter he asked that there should not be a slander, there should not be any of those things. But contrary to that, 4 days after that, Julius Malema started going on him, right? Now, so Floyd is a co-founder of the EFF. And no one can take that away from it. For over a period of time, since the EFF started 10 years ago, him being with Julius Malema, there has been many things that have happened that people that are close to him, people that are his relatives, are aware of. That he was actually not happy, but because he was loyal to what he had started. He had to stick around for more than 10 years in the organization, bearing the conduct that the so-called CIC had towards him. But he was man enough to still be in that organization despite all of that. But what we must be wary about, it's the reality that Floyd has the rights, which is enshrined in the Constitution, for freedom of association. He can actually go and join any organization. He can form, he can do any of that. But it seems like individuals do not respect such rights, calling him sellout. Who did he sell? He didn't sell anyone. It's his political choice. We are living at a different era now. Individuals that still have in their vocabulary things like sellout are primitive and backward. Those words have actually caused death during apartheid to people that were innocent. Because someone will just say you are a pimp or you are a sellout, and then the community will ban you, right? So people must be careful on how they use words like that. So the realistic part is that Floyd left the EFF because of the behavior of Julius Malema, the conduct of Julius Malema. Declarations that Julius Malema will have. Julius Malema did not have the respect of the constitution of the EFF. He could say things that were against the constitution of the EFF, and members of the EFF had to make sure that they now have to accept that he's saying those things. EFF had become a vehicle of his own. Actually, it's his own thing. He's like using it like it's his own. So Julius Malema had not grown to understand that there is Julius Malema, then there is an organization. You might have started the organization, but organization has got its own policies, constitution, that should be followed. But you would have seen that with the EFF, that such things, when it comes to him, he does not have respect for it. It's his personal vehicle. And his conduct is not different from pastors and people who start churches. They behave like that. This is my church. But forget that a church is an institution that they have built, and an institution is governed by policies, and these policies should be respected. So what you would have found out from the behavior of the so-called CIC is that he's got no respect for the constitution, he's got no respect for the policies of the organization, and all of that. So it's things that he personally has over a period of time not respected, not taken into cognizance, not really had some form of respect into it to say, let me respect that this organization has policies. Let's respect that people can contest me as the leader of these things. Because you have had him declaring over a period of time that I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
So that shows that shows that this man has come to a level where he believes that it's his own thing, it's his own personal thing, and he can do as he wish. Because as a leader, you are not allowed to say, I'm not going anywhere, I'm gonna lead you. So we are dealing with a King Jong-un of our time, or an Idi Amin of our time, because he portrays behaviors of Idi Amin and other dictators. It's just that in South Africa we've got a constitution that guard against a lot of things. If we did not have such constitution, individuals like Julius Malema are undesirable in our society, and we need to understand that. Let's for a minute talk about the policy that he's I hate that it's his biggest selling thing, the land issue, right? Do you know most of the land that we have, it's in the hands of government in South Africa. The municipalities and the Department of Public owns the land.
People attack me when I tell them that there is land in the hands and in control of African people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they if they come and say to us, the land is it's in the white hands. Let's do an audit of this particular land. The land that we have is, and when they say land expropriation without compensation, the land must belong to the state. It simply means that you are taking away the power of people to have ownership, to have title deed and ownership of land. It means wherever you will never leave anything to your children. When you die, everything that you work for will belong to the state. That's where we are being taken to. So we need to understand these things at that context. A person like me who stays at the rural area, if a chief one day decides that he doesn't like me, he can actually say, you're at my land and I have to move. But if I stay at a place where I have bought property and I've got title deed, no one can remove me from that land because I've got a title deed for that particular place, right? So these policies that are sold to people, and people are being sold these things and emotionally, and they're given emotions and all of that. Some of these policies need people to sit down and look deeper into it. And look at us as a society and our response. And land is not only for farming, it's not only for residential, it's also for business, industrial businesses. It's also, there's many things that land can be used for, right? So, but the thing that is sold by a lot of them is that we must get this land so that we can farm. Do we all want to be farmers? we don't want to be farmers. Not all of us want to be that. So, so at the level where we are as a society, the likes of Julius Malema are selling us things that they know will agitate us, and all of that will keep on voting them. They will be in power. He will have bodyguards. He will enjoy his nice life and all of that. And then in turn, he takes his children to white schools. He enjoys expensive wine with white people. And these are the things that we should talk about. Because if I believe as a person that we must be equal in the society, as a leader in the society, my children must go to a government school. And I monitor my children and make sure that the government school performs better. But the kind of leadership that you get from fake revolutionaries like Julius Malema is that they will tell you, we need this and that, and then in turn take their children to these expensive St. Albanian, St. whatever schools, pay 200,000 per annum for a primary school kid, and then go in a shack and agitate a person from the shack to say, hate white people. We need to move to a level where we understand that white people, some of them, their great parents arrived here in the 500s. In the 1500s, 1600 or 1700. If you chase them from here, they don't have another home. Some of them, they don't even know where their great-grandfather comes from, right? So these are people that are part of our society. What we should be doing is to advance a program to say, how do we then teach individuals to understand that racism is a bad thing? They must not be racist. People must not be tribalistic. Must not be all of those prejudices that people has. That should be the program that we should drive. We should not be driving a program of hatred, because the more you drive the programs that the likes of Julius Malema are driving, the more you keep on making society divided. You're not achieving anything by doing that. But if you have an approach that says, let's be a multi-racial society, a non-racist society, then you're driving a program that seeks to unite people. Because the reality of it is that these people that you call white people, they are part of our society. They are part of this society. And we've got millions of them in this country, and have been here. All right. Yes, these new ones that came, just like these are new blacks that came from other countries that came to this country. But these people are part and parcel of this particular country, and we should embrace them, and we should make sure that they also understand that for us to build a better society, we must coexist with them. Right. So the posture that seeks to say that if DA or whites are serving in government, I should not serve in that particular government. You're actually pushing an agenda that you do not want white people to coexist with us. And you cannot build a better South Africa and a better country if you do not coexist with white people. So I'm saying the policies are Zena's policies. His conduct as well as an individual is a deadly. You can see it's an individual who maybe at some point there is allegation. I'm saying that he smokes drugs. These are allegations, allegedly. I just want to put it on record that he smokes drugs. So you have seen the things that were coming out of his nose when he was addressing. Those are elements that comes out of people that smokes drugs. So do we want a druggie as a future president? I mean, that man, Floyd, was tasked by them at the EFF to be the negotiator of the GNU. Went and negotiated, and there was an agreement that Floyd should become a deputy minister of finance. And when he went back and reported, Julius Malema then took a phone and called the president of the country and demanded to be made a deputy president of the country. He said, if I just make me a deputy president, even if it's only for 3 months. That's how that man is desperate and power hungry. Imagine having an irrational, directionless deputy president like him, who has to serve in a society that we have, which is a complicated, complex society with a lot of educated people that are sophisticated, and they had to have an individual like him leading a country. We have seen that movie before. We can't go back to that.
Let me come in. I've let you speak for all this time. politically incorrect. So this is what happens when you tell me that Amashane, stop interrupting a guest when he speaks, and then at the same time it's you who say Amashane, so you let him say this without interrupting him. This is why you make us our life difficult. So at the beginning, see, I'm not writing anything down. I'm trying to remember everything, and this is why sometimes I interject when a guest speaks. So number one, you said Floyd was suffering for 10 years.
Yeah.
Number two, you said Julius is the so-called CIC. And then another thing that I remember just now, because I don't want to interrupt the rest of the stuff, you spoke about...
I'm recording. You must cut this part. Yes.
You spoke about checking out people.
Yeah.
So I even forgot what I wanted to say. I lost my trail of thought.
Yeah.
But I just want you to speak on that, the allegation that he smokes drugs. I think that
when the organization started, let me go back.
You said 10 years, and you said Julius is...
When the organization started...
It's called the so-called
CIC.
I don't want you to answer and cover yourself.
No, I'm not covering myself.
I want to ask you, what do you see Julius as?
I see as a bipolar person who needs psychiatric evaluation. I think Malema needs serious psychiatric evaluation. They must be evaluated to check his level of bipolar so that the psychiatrist can be able to deal with that particular state of mind. Now, let's.
I remembered what I wanted to ask you. So Julius he had his response, and he categorically stated those allegations were he did not rebut anything that the guys came back with. So that's Julius Malema. So I wanted just to put it on record.
He's lying.
Yeah, he might be lying, but I just want you to know.
Yeah, on record.
Especially the audience to know that.
I'm saying on record he's lying. But now let me go back.
So you choose to believe...
because I know the individual that you're talking about.
To believe the newspapers and not Julius.
Yeah, I know the individual that you're talking about because when the EFF started, the Asijiki Defense Force, who were part of that, with Lufuno Gogoro and many others, when he was fired from the ANC Youth League, we supported the cause because we felt that he was unfairly treated. As a young person at the time, myself, naive and all of that. Now, what is critical is that the behavior that he's showing now, he showed it at the time. That's why some of us, when we supported it, before that thing took off, we left it. Because we could see something is wrong here. The likes of Gogoros, Malaika or Azania as well, they left that thing because of his behavior. And Lemnitama as well left that thing. So there is a trail of Mandi Samasheko left that thing, right? Now that man can go and pronounce and say, open the borders, people must come in here. I'm just showing you a person who can think can't speak like that. Now he says no, open the borders, let all foreigners come in here, right? Now let me take you back a little bit. When Tito Mboweni was still a governor of the Reserve Bank of South Africa, Gideon Gono was still, if not Kombo Moyan, Gideon Gono was still the Reserve Bank governor of Zimbabwe. There was a debate that was held amongst Reserve Bank governors in Africa, right? To say, let's have one currency in the continent. And one issue that came in was, if you have one currency in the African continent with the instability that is in the African continent, you're going to make countries that have at least stability suffer, right? So this debate of open borders and all that have been there practically in an essence of how the currency should be had. And it was said, no. If you have a currency that is it means South Africa will suffer, Egypt at the time, Botswana. I'm just looking at the countries that were a bit stable and all of that. Now, so you're going to have those countries suffering, right? So it's the same thing. If you open borders, South Africa, Botswana, Egypt, Algeria, and all of these countries are going to bear to suffer because everyone will go to these countries because their own countries are not stable. So if you need an open border Africa, make sure that Zimbabwe is stable, Mozambique is stable. Swaziland is stable, and all these African countries have stability in governance, then people don't go to South Africa looking for opportunities or anything. They can come to South Africa because they've got proper skills that they think they can do better. Not to come to South Africa to become a gardener, or not to come to South Africa to become a maid or anything like that. Not special skills that we as a country we can benefit from. So now the mentality that comes from the likes of Julius Malema shows that he is not matured enough to understand the dynamics of the African continent itself. He's saying things to agitate people. He's saying things out of popularity. But if you go to reality and look at these things, you can see that these things are not practical, right? The European countries themselves that have these open border policies is because they are stable. Right? There is stability. You don't find a European that comes from one European country to another to go and become a maid or to go and become a gardener. They go and become engineers. They go and become something in those countries, and they contribute to the economies of those particular countries. There is nothing wrong with having a Zimbabwean that has got special skills, that particular Zimbabwean can come to South Africa and contribute. But the kind of Zimbabweans that we have are waiters. We don't need waiters from Zimbabwe, right? You understand? So the policies of Julius Malema are extreme and they are unrealistic, right? So if South Africans continue voting this man, believing that this man can run this country, they are actually making sure that this country becomes another failed African continent or another failed African state. And we do not need that in the African continent. We need an African continent, South Africa that is stable, South Africa that can be able to assist other African countries to be stable, to have stability. So if you invite everything to come in here, you're creating problem. One thing that he's so obsessed with having Nigerians here, you see, if your supplier is taken out of the country, and we must be realistic, Nigerians are notorious for drugs, right? Now, if you say Nigerians must go back home, so his supplier of drug is going back home, so he won't have a supplier. So he's angry that if I say Nigerians must actually go back home, it means that his supplier will be going back home. And the reality of it is that we need Nigerians in South Africa, but we need Nigerians that have skills. We need Nigerians that are going to contribute to the economy. We don't need Nigerians that are going to to push trafficking of children, to kidnappings, making sure that this society has a drug problem and all of that. You need to change that. You need policies that will be able to deal with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, chap. So you have successfully removed Julius Malema from EFF. And the question that I'm going to ask you, it will be unfair on Julius, but I want you to ask it. I want you to answer me. What good comes from the EFF? And once you are done, then tell me what good comes from Julius Malema. I consider Julius Malema one of the greatest politicians we have in our time, and I fail to see that you see any good in him. But I want to give you a chance to to prove me wrong. Please start with EFF, the good that comes from EFF, the good that comes from Malema, because you have started with separated.
The good that has come out of the EFF is to make sure that the youth in South Africa have interest in politics, and that for that we have to give it to them that they may manage to then revolutionize youth of South Africa to have an idea of what politics is about, and that you have to give it to them. But what good comes of Julius Malema? I personally want to try and find something good that comes out of him. I'm failing.
Let me bring this thing closer.
No, I'm failing to. No, I'm failing to. I'm failing. No, it's fine.
I want to hear this part.
No. I'm failing to get. I'm looking at his character and I'm looking at his behavior, I'm looking at his conduct. Maybe the goodness part of it is that he's got a spot to feel for people close to him. When their parents are dead, he will attend their funerals and stuff like that. Right?
Only funerals?
That's what you will see.
Julius Malema has taken care of a lot of people, and I think
No.
Even if you had,
He has taken care of celebrities that are suffering, not a lot of people. You can't get people from the ground that can.
Yeah,
if it's a small person suffering, he's not involved. He does that on people that are celebrities so that he can be seen to be doing something, right? So that he does that. Let me give you a practical example. During COVID, during the lockdown, he contributed a lot by giving celebrities money. Tell me how much he gave to ordinary people. Wait, let me finish this, Mashia. To ordinary people, giving them food. Let me give you a practical example. Gauteng Mackenzie, during COVID-19, bought a lot of food and gave to people, poor people that had no meal, had nothing, in the communities, in Eldorado Park and other areas in Soweto and all of that. So, and he didn't do it to show off. Nobody ever saw him doing that, but he was doing it, right? Now, let me compare Gauteng and you put Julius here. Julius does it for celebrities so that they can praise him, they can... Here is a practical example. Someone joins the EFF, a musician. He is automatically protruded to parliament and become a parliamentarian. That's the behavior that he has. How about ordinary ground forces, that he calls them ground forces, that have worked so hard to recruit people to join his political organization? They are not. They are not.
Like it's an extreme.
It's extreme because how many? I can count a lot of them. I can count a lot of them.
There are more ground forces who are going to parliament, by the way, than the few that you...
No. How about if you join a political organization?
No.
Let me finish this one. Let me finish this one.
Let's finish this one. There are more ground forces, there are more rank and file members of EFF going to parliament than the celebrities that you are talking about. Let's agree on that.
Then why do you then consider who come today to join and then you take them to parliament? Why can't... Wait, Mashia. It's happening. Why are you defending it?
I'm saying you are using extreme examples because
it's not an extreme example. It's an example. It's an example of his behavior and his conduct. He then regards celebrities than ordinary South Africans, and South Africans should be wary of that. If someone can, during a serious time where most of South Africans are in distress, do not know where the next meal will come from, and a leader of a political party that is voted by ordinary take millions and give it to celebrities and forget about giving meals to ordinary South Africans, it shows the kind of a leader that we are dealing with. Compare that Mashian, then compare that to an ordinary to a Gauteng who then takes food and give it to ordinary people. So I'm showing you here.
The reason I'm disappointed is I said give me good things coming.
There is nothing good that comes out of that man. There is nothing good that comes out of that man. There is nothing good that comes out of that man.
So, but there is good coming from the EFF.
Yes, they've managed to revolutionize the youth to like politics. There is something good that comes of that, and it's not his making. It's he can't write a simple policy. I don't even know if he knows how to write his own name. But that is for another day. Now, Now, look. There has been many allegations that you can't put it on record.
Okay, let's put it here.
Yes.
Why do you hate Julius Malema so much?
I
think this one.
I dislike him. I don't hate him. Hate is a very strong word. No. I want to answer on it. I want to respond in it. Yeah. I don't hate him. I dislike him because my friends suffered
in his
hands.
Okay.
Now, so if someone, you have friends who have suffered. You know, Gogoro died. I don't know. Gogoro's death died a very, I don't know, I want to word that can describe how Gogoro died. And because of people like Julius Malema, his death was painful. Now,
do you not want to? I mean, may Gogoro's soul rest in peace, and it's unfortunate that we speak. He was supposed to come on the podcast,
Yeah.
It's unfortunately him and his wife made a soul rest in peace. But what I want to say is, couldn't we or shouldn't we say they had their own political trajectory in their hands and they chose that route?
No, it's not about them having a political
So
trajectory in their
everyone who
hand.
leaves the EFF,
It's about
we must blame it on Julius.
it's no, not everyone, but them specifically, people that I know who had scars that were caused by him. Now that is what you need to. I'm coming from that particular point. If you go, it's just that other people choose to keep quiet. Malaika or Azania, she will not talk about it.
But she spoke. Malaika spoke.
Yes. Yeah, but she will not
But
continue. She will not. The pain is still there,
Yeah.
because there were sleepless nights where she was trying to build that particular organization. But if you build an organization with a dictator, you are bound to have those kind of outcomes. So that particular person is a dictator, and the outcome of building an organization with a dictator is that which has happened with that organization. And I'm telling you,
let's talk about the future.
Yes.
Is there a future in the EFF?
He's got few zombies. It's like asking me, is there a future with Bushiri's church? Yes, there is future with Bushiri's church, because he has managed to hypnotize people who follows him. Is there a future with Moro's church? Yes, there is a future with Moro's church. So
how long do you give the EFF until they
I do not see
they remain with one parliamentarian?
Not remaining with one parliamentarian, but I'm seeing a bloodbath in the next LGE, local government election.
I'm deliberately asking you this question. I want you to understand. I'm deliberately asking you so we can quote you in future.
Yeah, you can quote me in future. There will be a bloodbath in the next local government election, but they are not going to lose it all, right? But a period of the next national and provincial election, which is an NPE, it's 5 years from now. He has over how many members now? He might probably have 10 parliamentarians in that parliament, if he does not change his approach. Which
in the 8th administration,
yes,
he might have less than 10
parliamentarians. Yes. He's not going to lose it all. Remember, it's like I'm telling you, it's like asking if a Bushiri will lose his members. There are people who are hypnotized, who are happy with his sloganeering, his popularism, and all of that. So there is a little bit of a future. He will always be in parliament earning a salary, but majority of the people people are leaving that thing. That thing it's a dead donkey.
You have for the longest time likened Malema with Bushiri and Mboro. Do you think Malema is a cult leader?
He is a cult leader. He's a cult leader.
Do you think EFF is a cult?
It's a cult.
Which other political parties are cult-like in nature?
It's IFP. It's COPE. It's a cult as well. It's that Christian, that one of Mushe guy. There's quite a lot. That UDM as well. It's a cult. So these are organizations where the leader has to die for a new leader to take over, right? So, but if you look at a democratic organization, let me go deeper on this one.
I don't want you to pass this.
Yeah.
Why, if that has been replicated by other political parties, why is Julius Malema being blamed for doing exactly like other political parties?
Because he claims that the EFF is democratic.
Okay.
Yes. He claims that is democratic.
Right. I know you can continue.
He claims that is democratic. So for his claim that is democratic, then so you are dealing with a cult leader. You are dealing with an individual that is self-centered, a narcissist. I don't know, a person who's got no consciousness. In Tsonga we call it tsiriti. In Zulu they said inembeza. That guy does not have that. And when you are a leader and you do not have that, you're not going to fall for people that are around you. What he cares about is to go and put his cousins in companies so that they can tender in municipalities where they've got power to get tenders and do corruption, right? And have these fancy and steal from EFF coffers. EFF money, if you do proper audit in the EFF money, he steals from that particular what you call.
That organization goes through. That organization
no, it's not. It's not. It's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's his fiefdom.
Like any other.
It's his fiefdom. He uses the money as he likes. Ask members of the organization. Interview Josie Butane. ask. I'm imploring you to say.
I've been looking.
Please go and do.
And
make time. Go to Pulukwan.
To Mama Bulo.
Yes.
But he's not keen to speak to me.
Speak to Josie. Josie is keen to speak to the media. Speak specifically on the issues of mismanagement of funds. Okay. Right. So speak specifically on the mismanagement of funds.
I promise.
Those guys have really tried to explain the kind of an individual that. So here we are dealing with a Putin of a special nature. We are dealing with a Idi Amin. We are dealing with a Kim Jong-un. Yeah. So we are dealing with a person who eliminate his yes, Putin does that, eliminates his opponents. He's got
isn't it the art of war to eliminate your opponent?
It's if you say you are running a democratic organization,
like
if you eliminate your opponents democratically, eliminate your opponents democratically. So
that's what he has done. He has defeated them in congresses. He has
not defeated them in Congress. If you see that you are stronger, he disbands your provinces and he makes sure that you leave the organization.
If you fail, he gets rid of you. This is what my understanding, because I don't have any other proof. If you contravene the law,
okay, let's get back to this one. Let's go back to this one, Mashian. The EFF during the election performed so badly. We'll agree, me and you, right?
Yes.
They performed so badly. In a democratic societies with people that can take responsibilities, if you fail to deliver, you resign, right? Let me give a practical example. Recently, Donald Trump was shot. Where is the head of the secret services now? She resigned. She took responsibility because she understood that she failed. So him as a leader, if he had failed, why is he saying the provinces should be the one that must account when he as a leader has failed? Because his failure, the failure of the provinces is failure. He should take responsibility and then be able to resign and let other people lead. Why does he want to be a leader for life? So there is no future in an organization like that, because that organization is only based on an individual. So it's individualized. ANC survived after Nelson Mandela because the ANC is not an individual organization, right? There has been other leaders, Oliver Tambo, Langal Balele, many leaders came and go. So the reality of it is organizations that are started by individuals who then become the organizations don't have a future outside of that particular leader. So what Floyd and them wanted EFF to be a democratic organization. And it has not been that. It has become his fiefdom.
Let's talk about Floyd. We are done.
Yes. Yes.
Floyd decides to go to MK. Do you think Floyd should have stayed being neutral, not going to any party? Or do you think Floyd made a brilliant decision going to MK? And if you see it as a brilliant decision, what do you think you'll be doing there?
Here is my view. I think Floyd should not have joined the MK.
Okay.
And this is my view, that what he should have done, he should have resigned and sit at home and just cool down and make a proper assessment of the political situation in the country and take a decision based on that. I would want Floyd more at a bureaucratic level, contributing towards the country as a bureaucrat, or maybe in the body of academia, being a lecturer in the university, producing more people like himself. But he chose his own path, which he felt that it's the right thing to do. But from my point of view, I would have liked him to have contributed in academia or go to government and work as a bureaucrat, maybe a director general in the Department of Finance, Minister of Finance, or a director there in an institution such as SARS, or any of these institutions that are critical to the economy of the country. And I believe that he would have contributed more positively at that particular level in making sure that policies are implemented and other things that are there. So my belief is that yes, he made a quick decision by going to join the MK. But I respect that particular decision, and I don't see that decision as a sellout decision. But for me, I would have liked him not to have joined any political organization, but to relax and then take a different route, because,
Let me agree with you. I fully agree with you until the extent of saying you respect the decision. So for me, even though I disagree with him, I also want to say he was wrong, because, for example, him going to MK, it gives credence, Ashe, it gives credence actually to those people who are saying he's selfish, he's sold out, because let me tell you, because of the immaturity of certain ground forces,
yes,
they see it as betrayal. Yes, they see it as betrayal. So the other thing that you spoke about, even going to a foreign mission, to go to another embassy, to go and lead a diplomatic mission, Floyd would be good with that.
Yeah.
And that would have avoided. So look, we are sitting here with EFF members who are very antagonistic to Floyd, and that's very unfair.
Yes.
It's so unfair to Floyd for people that he led to be so antagonistic to him. It's because he left Kaizer Chiefs, he joined Pirates.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. You see, they would say, people who manage PR, at least go to Sundowns before you go to
Chiefs.
Yes, just don't go direct.
Yes.
You see, and I understand Floyd is mature, but he should have understood the people he led are very emotional. I'm worried about how MK and EFF are going to work together in Parliament, in that progressive caucus. But for what it's worth, do you allow us to end this interview?
No, let's end it here.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
My friend,
I respect your view on him,
yes,
but I respect that he has taken his personal decision,
yes,
but I would have liked him to operate differently. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.